Welcome back to your video tutorials, Excel 2013. Today is day 11, exercise 1, formatting worksheets. Exercise to use. We are going to open the Excel student files, open Unit C, and then we are going to open the file EXC1. Okay, we're going to be using the save as command to save it under your Excel folder with the following name, QST, Advertising Expenses. Okay, these are the, today we are not going to be working with formulas. Today we are going to be focusing on format values. Okay, we are going to change font and font size. We are going to be using the change alignment, and we also going to be adjusting column width and also inserting and deleting rows. Okay, now I'm going to move this to the side, and here's my Excel student files. Here's Unit C and EXC1. Okay, once we have this file open, okay, now we're gonna be using file, save as, computer, Excel files, okay, and the name is gonna be QST advertising expenses, okay, and then save. Now that we have this spreadsheet saved, okay, QST advertising expenses, okay. You guys can see this is gonna be a little bit longer, please, okay. We are gonna be covering all the way down to row 32. Okay, so here's the name of this company. Okay, Quest Specialty Travel Advertising Expenses. Okay, now they have expenses. Okay, we have another label here, sales tax, and here's the tax that they're paying. Okay, we have the type of advertising. So this is an advertising company, right? A company that hire a lot of different services for advertising. We have the invoice date, invoice due, okay, place with, cost, quantity, extended cost, sales tax, total, and percentage of total. Okay. Now, as you guys can see, we already have all the some formulas here. Okay. So we have the sales tax, and we have the totals, and we have the percentage of total. So the formulas are already created. Okay. If you guys scroll down, you guys are gonna see also that we have the all the totals down here on row number 32. Okay, so today we're gonna focus in formatting. Why we format a spreadsheet? The reason why we format a spreadsheet is one, we wanna make sure, or we wanna make our spreadsheet look nice. Now, second, we have some numbers. Right now we're being working with whole numbers only, and see right here we have just whole numbers and some numbers with decimals. Okay, so we are also gonna be using, okay, we're gonna be formatting numbers. Why? Because we want to display those data into a better way. Okay, okay, so we are gonna begin using the title. Okay, now here's the title. The title is into A1, Quest Specialty Travel Advertising Expenses. Okay, I'm gonna be selecting this range, the following range, A1 through J1. Okay, now the reason why I select this range is because this is the column that we're using, and in this case here we are going to be using the merchant center under the alignments group. See, today we're going to focus on the font alignment and the number group. Okay, we're also going to be doing a little bit of conditional format. Okay, now from here I'm going to use the merchant center. Basically I'm going to use the merchant center. Now because I had multiple cells selected, when I click into the merchant center, see, my text is just gonna be right into the center of all these cells, and those cells are gonna be merged together into one. Okay, now that we have this here, we're gonna be using the font group and a couple of clicks into the shrink, just to make our text a little bit bigger. Okay, now from here we could also try to use bold and see how it looks. Not bad. Okay. How about if we apply a little bit of color? Okay. Here's the shade, the fill color. Okay, now my text is gonna be not looking too good. I'm gonna use the font color and maybe change it to white and resize this just a little bit. Okay, we could definitely go ahead and use different type of text. Okay, but normally I don't like to really, use a different type of text. Okay, we want to make sure that that our spreadsheet is visible and that all the data is it could be read. Okay, now I'm gonna be using this Baker's bill all page. Okay, let's go. Perfect. Okay. Now besides that, right here we have the sales tax. This is only one cell. Okay. So we could use these options, right? To use the fill, change the font color, etc., etc. But if you guys look into the styles, see we have the cell styles. Okay. All of these cell styles are gonna give you a live preview. Okay. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with this one, input. It's been only applied to that cell because that's the cell that I have selected. Now I'm gonna click into L1 and I'm gonna be using another cell style. Okay. So from here, how about if I choose or I'll go with this one back. There we go. Okay. Now that we have this, okay. Here's the this is a sales tax, okay, and those sales tax is being used to get this total of the sales tax. Now, anytime that you select a cell, okay, you get some kind of numbers. Look into the number group. Okay, since this is being formatted as general. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and select the percentage, and it's giving me a whole number. Okay. Now I'm gonna increase two decimals, 1 and 2. Okay. By doing that, we are gonna be rounding, see, those numbers into the next 10. So there, okay, we have our sales tax percentage. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and change, okay, this font because I don't really like it. Sales tax, I'm also gonna be using the Arial arrow. I think that's better. Okay, now right here I'm gonna select two cells. Okay, remember today is just all about format. Right here you guys have the borders. If I click into the down arrow, we will definitely use all borders here. When I click away, I'm gonna see my borders. We could also display it here. See, one click because we have the merchant cell. We can apply this other option, tick box border. When I click away, you guys can barely see it, but there it is. Okay. Now, let's see. Okay, this is column A, and I see that not all the data is being displayed. Okay. Anytime that you guys want to reset a column, bring your pointer up here in between A and B, and double click. When we double click, that column is gonna be resized automatically, and it's gonna display all the different contents. Okay. And I'm gonna do this the same thing with every single column here. Double click, see, D now is gonna be larger. Okay, double click with everything. So every time that you guys wanna resize, okay, just go ahead and double click into the line that is dividing that column. Okay, perfect. Make sure you guys click on save. Okay, now let's go ahead and start working with this range. Okay, we have the labels that we are gonna be using for this company. Okay, type, invoice date, etc., etc. Okay. Now, in this case, okay, how about if I say, okay, I'm gonna use another fill, but maybe this time it's just gonna be a little bit clear. Okay, I'm gonna try the font, maybe white, apply bold, and we're also gonna go ahead and resize this. Okay, 14 points, but there's one little problem. Okay, now we can't see all the labels being displayed. Okay, so again, we are gonna be resizing those columns. Okay, double click, double click, double click, double click. Okay, so there we are. Okay, I'm gonna select the same range. Why? Because I'm gonna be using the borders, all borders. Okay, now I'm gonna go ahead and remove the bold. It doesn't look too good. Okay, and this blue fill is kind of too light. Okay, I'm gonna try to go with something a little bit stronger. There we go. Okay, so there we have our labels. Okay, now right here on the left hand side. Okay, I could definitely do the same thing. I'm gonna left click, start it on A4, left click, hold it and drag it down. When you guys have more data that is not being displayed into your spreadsheet, bring your pointer, okay, and just hold it, hold down the left button, see, and Excel is just gonna be scrolling down for us. Okay, so I'm gonna go down all the way down to Billboard. Okay, now that we have this, okay, this is what we're gonna do. Okay, again, I'm gonna be using the fill and change the font color. In this case, I'm gonna apply bold and also all borders. Okay, so it doesn't look too bad. Okay, so there's our column A. Make sure you guys click on save. Perfect. Okay, so there we have. Okay, so we have we change the font and use the font size. We change some alignments. Okay. Um, let's go ahead and highlight this range. Okay, B3 through J3, and I'm gonna be using the center alignments here, center and center. Okay, perfect. So look too bad, right? Okay, now let's go ahead and start formatting numbers. I'm gonna scroll up, okay, a little bit, and in this case, I'm gonna have to zoom out a little bit because no, that's okay. I'm just gonna leave it on 100%. Okay, now from here, I'm gonna say, okay, we had a cost each, okay, so I'm gonna click into G4, okay. Now, anytime that we have a very long, okay, spreadsheet, see, if you guys wanna select the range, we click into, in this case, I'm gonna click on G4. I'm gonna scroll down and I'm gonna go to G31. Now, before I click into that, I'm gonna hold down Control and then I'm gonna click into the cell, okay. I'm sorry, left click into G4, hold on Shift, go to G31 and then click. Okay, so it was not Control, is Shift. Okay, on your keyboard. Anytime that we want to select a range, okay, we click into the first cell, we go to the last one, we hold on Shift and then we click, and that's gonna select the range. Okay. Now from here, let's say that we say, okay, we want to format this. Okay, so we have the general. General is the default format for numbers. Okay, so right here we have it. We say, okay, I want to display, see the dollar sign. Okay, so one click into the dollar sign, we does the accounting, and now we have the dollar sign into and the commas into every single cell that we have highlighted. Okay, now let's go ahead and right here we have the sales tax and total. Okay, now how about it from here? We say, okay, now I want to have the sales tax and total, okay, format with a different, okay, with a different format. Okay, now right now this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and hide my ribbon. I'm gonna scroll down because I want to display all the data, okay, that I'm gonna be using. So here we are. Okay, so we have the sales tax. Okay, as you guys can see, we have more than two decimals on a lot of these numbers. That's okay. So here's H4, and I'm gonna be selecting all the way down to I31. Okay. So in this case, it's gonna be two columns. Okay. So here's the first cell. I'm gonna go to the last one. Before I click into it, I'm gonna hold on shift and then I'm gonna click into the cell. And then I'm gonna release shift and there we are. I have my selection. Okay, now I'm gonna bring my ribbon again. I wanna display my ribbon. Where's the ribbon? Okay, it's up here. Okay, now in this case we don't wanna apply the accounting format. In this case we only wanna apply the comma style. Okay, when we click into the comma style, see all numbers are now in a different format. Okay, if we have thousands, they're gonna have a letter of comma. Okay, no dollar sign in this case. Okay, now right here we have another column. Okay, and that is for the cost for each of this advertising costs. Okay, so I'm gonna click into the first one. I'm gonna scroll down. I'm gonna hold down shift and click into the last one. And there, I got them selected. Okay, now this time I'm gonna go down here into general, and I'm gonna be using the currency. Okay, now what the currency is gonna do is gonna apply the dollar sign as well the comma, but it's just gonna be right next to the number. Not like in this case on the extended cross. See, the dollar sign is aligned to the left hand side. In this case, it's been aligned. I mean, the dollar sign is just right next to the number. Okay, perfect. So there we go. Okay, so that is formatting your numbers with different values. Okay, perfect. Okay, now that we have these formats, let's say that we want to format this other column. Okay, starting on J4 through J31. Okay, so same process to select the range. We click on J4, scroll down, hold on shift, and click into J31. Okay, now in this case, again, see, we have 0 0.006, etc., etc., etc. Okay, we're never gonna see those numbers when we go to the store. Okay, when we are buying something. Okay, now in this case, we want to change that. Okay, how about we bring the pointer and we just click into the percentage. Okay, now we have a whole numbers. Okay, now we are gonna be adding, okay, increase two decimals. Okay, why? The reason why, because some of these numbers are in zeros. So by applying two decimals, we have 0.67, 6.95, etc., etc. Okay, now let's go ahead and click into the one and do the same thing. This is the total. Okay, if we double click, we see that all these cells are being added into and getting the total right here. So now when we click change the percentage, now we have 100%. Okay, there you go. Okay, so that is formatting. Okay, our cells, values, adjusting the columns. Okay, now there's gonna be occasions that we say, hey, I don't need this column. Okay, let's say that this percentage of total is gonna be created into another department. Okay, so how can we delete this row? I'm sorry, row, this column. Once the column is selected, okay, we click into the J, the whole column is selected. See, under the Home tab, we have the Cells group, and right here we have the Delete. Okay, now what we want to do here, we want to delete the Sheet column. And there you go, one click and it's gone. See, the other adjacent cells are just gonna be moving to the next cell. Okay, perfect. Now, let's see, now let's go ahead and do another format here, okay? So we have this cell B4, I'm going to scroll down to B31. Before I click on B31, I'm going to hold down shift and click on B31. Okay, now right here we have a date. Okay, these are just dates. Okay, let's say that we want to display this with a different format. If we look into the number group, we have already the date. Okay, now In this case, we're gonna click into the down arrow, and let's see, we have the short date, long date. Let's try the short date for now. Okay, no changes, so that's exactly the format that we're using right now. But let's say that we want to display the day and then the month with letters and then the year with numbers. Okay, if we go down to more number formats, see, it's gonna open this window right here. Now we are already working with dates, right? So dates is already selected under categories. But right here we are gonna be select what format to use. Okay. Now right here it's already selected the format that we're using, just number, number, and number. I'm gonna be using C 14 March 12. And then click on OK. So now my dates here have a different format. Okay. Now let's say that we have this other column. Okay, invoice due. I'm gonna click into C4, scroll down to C31. I'm gonna hold on shift and click on C31. Okay. Now right here, let's say that we wanna save a little bit of space. Okay. The year we already have it into this column. Okay, so we don't need the year in this case. Okay, again. So one more time. Okay, we're gonna go to the date format, then to more number formats. We're gonna be using 14 March. I'm gonna OK. Okay, we already know that this belongs to the 2010 year, and there we are. Okay, make sure that you guys click on save, and that's formatting or values. Okay, the totals. Okay, this total. Let's apply the dollar sign. These are, let's see, this is quantity. Okay, but these are money, money, and money. We're gonna be applying the dollar sign. Okay, there we go. Okay, now this cell right here, quantity. Okay, this is just quantity. Let's say that we want to select F4 through F31, and again hold on shift and click. Okay, in this case this is what we need to do. Okay, let's say that we want to center this data. Just click under the alignment into the center, and there's our quantity are going to be into the center. Okay, now it's going to be easier for anybody else, okay, that with this information to read it, and also for ourselves. See, we could display, read this data better. Okay, now there's gonna be, okay, we delete a column. Now let's say that in this case right now we want to delete a row. Okay, so let's say that we say, okay, this magazine, we don't need this magazine, the magazine is probably too expensive. Okay, we want to save some money, so we are not going to continue advertising with this company, this magazine. Now anytime that you guys want to delete a row, click into the row number, because the whole row number is going to be selected. Okay, now we're going to go into the cells. Here's the delete cells, delete sheet rows, or delete sheets. So we want to delete the sheet rows. And there we go, scan. Okay, now down here, let's say that we want to add another row because we want to separate the totals from the data. See, I'm going to click on 31. Okay, on 31, row 31. And now I'm going to be using this option, see, insert. And this is going to be sheet rows. And that's going to separate, see, it's going to be inserting a new row. And it's going to be deleting, moving the totals below. Okay, now right here we have a field. I don't want to use a field there. We want no field. Actually, no field. There we go. And we take care of that. Okay, now, not too bad. Okay, I'm going to click on save. Okay, now one more thing. Okay, how about if I say, okay, maybe we want to use some borders. Okay, so have before, and I'm going to be selecting I30. Okay, so I'm going to hold on shift and then click into I30. And there we go. Here's my range. Okay, now I select everything because we want to use this option. See, we want to apply all borders. And then I'm going to click outside. Okay, so now our data is going to be easier to read. We have another range here. I'm going to apply the same, all borders. This total belong to quantities. I'm going to be using the center option. And there we are. Okay, so there we go. Okay, if you guys go to File and Print, here's my spreadsheet. Okay, now we have 102. So from here, I'm going to be using the orientation and change it to landscape. Okay, now this is telling me that we have 103. If you guys click into this arrow, you guys are going to see, okay, there's the totals. And sales tax and percentages into another one. Okay, now look, if we go down to here to scaling and we say, hey, fit sheet on one page, everything's going to fit into one single page. Okay, my sales tax, percentage, tax, my totals. I'm going to click on back, click on save, and there we are. That's about. Okay, so that is formatting values, changing font size, change the alignments, adjust columns, insert and delete rows. Okay, delete columns. Okay, perfect. Well, thank you. Make sure that you just click on save, close my spreadsheet. I'm gonna close this file. Okay, and here's my notepad. Okay, well, thank you for watching, and on the next video tutorial we're gonna be doing some more exercises. Okay, just focusing on formatting values and formatting, okay, or text. Thank you. You guys have a great day, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.